And now we're going to talk more about immigration and this resignation. Charles Marino, a former Homeland Security Department advisor and founder of Sentinel Security Solutions, joins us live. Chuck, thank you for being with us. I'm wondering how the resignation of Chris Magnus helps, if it helps at all. He was on the job less than a year, and I certainly wouldn't put immigration problems all at his feet.
Morning, Mitch. No, you're exactly right. Look, the resignation of Chris Magnus is going to change nothing. The White House is calling the ball on border and immigration enforcement, and they've proven that what is currently going on right now with the crisis is exactly what they want to unfold. You can't lay this at the feet of Chris Magnus. The accountability has to go up to the Secretary of Homeland Security and the domestic policy team at the White House and to the president. I mean, look, Chris Magnus's job was simply to get along, to go along with the troops of CBP. And he was unable to do that, one, because he does not have the executive experience to run such a large organization. And he views every organization that he runs as in need of reform. And you cannot look at the entire Border Patrol workforce as the bad guys and girls in the process here. You need to support them to the best that you can. But the policies of the White House is what has crushed morale and will continue to crush morale within the Border Patrol.
So it sounds like maybe Magnus lost the support of the rank and file, but also take a look at this. A record number, 2.4 million migrants were stopped at our southern border just this fiscal year that ended September 30th. That is more than twice the highest level during Donald Trump's presidency in 2019. It is not Magnus's fault that people are coming here, I'm guessing. So who replaces him, and what can that person do differently?
Well, it'll be interesting to see who steps up to replace him and go through the Senate confirmation process with the House still up in the air, considering if Republicans take charge of the House, how many pending investigations will be forthcoming. And I would even look to see the impeachment process begin against the Secretary of Homeland Security, while it'll be rough going in the Senate because you had senators like Mark Kelly from Arizona who actually had to step up during his debates with Blake Masters and say, yeah, there is a crisis at the border. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Troy Miller is a known name. As you indicated earlier, Troy Miller has stepped up before to fill that slot. But again, he's going to have to carry out the orders of the White House and the Secretary of Homeland Security here. So as far as I'm concerned, they should nominate a mannequin to be the next commissioner of CBP, because they really are not interested in hearing what that person thinks about what they want to have happen down at the border. And it's a real tough position to be in. So I do not foresee very qualified candidates raising their hand to be considered for this position, which is a shame, and it's a detriment to the overall security of our nation.
Nominate a mannequin, and it will probably still end up getting some resistance from, some folks in the Senate, even if it's a mannequin. That's Charles Marino. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.